Let's go! I believe you watching this right now, you have every single thing you need to be happy and fulfilled right now in this very moment. Beep. Carrie here from Healing Humanity, the power of a proper human diet. And we got a blizzard going on out here. Look at this. Why am I outside in a t-shirt, wearing a Healing Humanity shirt? Because I love the cold. Because I'm thankful, grateful, and I'm blessed. Because the cold wakes me up. Because the cold puts me in this moment. I'm literally in a blizzard right now. Let's go! We're gonna go for a walk in the woods. And I want to encourage people. It's my mission in life. It's my goal in life. I'm doing a documentary called Healing Humanity, the power of a proper human diet. I believe you watching this right now, you have every single thing you need to be happy and fulfilled right now in this very moment. It's all right here. It's your choice. You have the right to choose to be happy and fulfilled and to be thankful, grateful, and blessed. I am thankful, I am grateful, and I am blessed, and I am happy. So many people defer their happiness. If only I had this, if only I had that. In the future, when I go on vacation, I'm going to be happy. When I was younger, I was happy. Happiness is in the moment, right here and right now. And I am legitimately thankful, grateful, and blessed for every breath I take. This could be my last breath. This could be your last breath. The last thing you see could be me walking around in the woods. Don't make that the last thing you see. I said this in an earlier video, and people said that I was lying. Look how beautiful this is, first of all. There's our little zip line we set up. People said I was lying. If you gave me a lottery ticket right now for $1 million, if you gave me a lottery ticket right now for $1 billion, I would tear it up. My hand on a Bible, on my children, that is the God's honest truth. And people are going to call me a liar, and they're going to say, no way, because they hold so much regard for that money. That's going to make them happy. That's going to change everything. No, I have everything I need right now, in the here and now, in this very moment. If this is my last breath I take, I have everything I need to be happy right now. It's right here. It's the choices we make in our heads. You can choose to be thankful, grateful, blessed, and happy. Or you can choose to be a victim and to be sad and to defer your happiness for some other moment that's never going to happen because you're not living in the moment, in the here and the now. The other reason I would tear that lottery ticket up for $1 billion is because you're not getting $1 billion, you're giving up your purpose in life. Purpose, mission, drive is the most important thing in life. And if you had that $1 billion, if I had that $1 billion, I would be giving up my purpose. Life is so short. So short. I am so thankful I found the proper human diet because I'm thinking straight for the first time in my life. I have energy, I have motivation, and I have no brain fog. I feel like I'm a next level human. I'm like another species or something. When the brain, look at how beautiful this is. Literally a blizzard out right now. The girls got off of school. They're pretty excited about that. I've actually done this. This is my third day in a row, walking around in the snow with a t-shirt on. I just love it. We are so disconnected from nature. So I don't know, I'm going to do a little walk and talk here, a little ramble. I talk about the carnivore diet, how it's changed my life so many times. I'm down 100 pounds since my heaviest, lost most of that on carnivore, a little bit of it on keto on and off for years and years. Depression, anxiety is gone, which is the #1 game changer. I no longer need a CPAP machine. I no longer have IBS. And I'm happy. I am thriving. I am no longer depressed and just flatlined. I'm the opposite of whatever hopeless depression was. Excited, grateful, happiness is my default demeanor right now. And that could be the case for you too. So many people are walking around, and why are they not happy? Well, they're not living in the moment. But why are they not happy for a lot of people? The truth of the matter is because you're sick. Oh God, I used to hate that when I was fat. I'll show you some pictures when I was fat. People would say, just go out and go for a walk. Then you'll lose the weight. I was sick. How am I going to go for a walk? Are you going to tell someone with pneumonia to go for a walk? You're going to tell someone with a horrible flu that's in the bed, get out and go for a walk and then you'll feel better. I have healed my body and I'm no longer sick. So that gives me more energy and motivation to actually be happy. How can you be happy when you're feeding your body the improper fuel and you're exhausted and fatigued walking around in a brain fog all the time? You can't. The body requires an incredible amount of energy to function. The brain is power hungry. It needs so much energy, and people are walking around putting the wrong fuels in their body, and they're fatigued and they're tired, and then they're eating all sorts of garbage, waste food that their body doesn't need. The only thing my body needs is meat. 300 days, beef, butter, bacon, eggs, that's it. I've had no vegetables, no fruit. I feel amazing, I feel incredible, and all that junk people put in their body that I used to put in my body, complete and utter waste. I spent all my money, worked so hard to earn my money to go to the grocery store to fill up a cart full of waste, hundreds of dollars worth of waste, that I would then take home, eat, and every little bit of it would go straight down the toilet. Waste in, waste out. But there's an important part of the equation that people don't think about. The waste that and the toll that took on my body for years and years and years and decades, processing all of that stuff, the amount of energy it took my gut and my stomach and my brain. Of course I was fatigued. Of course I had brain fog all the time. I wasn't putting the proper fuel in my body. And not only that, I was putting fuel in that was causing my body to do a ton of extra work, soaking up my energy reserves. I was tired and fatigued and sick and hopeless, and just my brain would go into preserval mode. Like, what can we do to save energy? Well, let's just go with the flow. Let's just conform to social norms. We're not going to go against the grain. We're going to do the bare minimum. We're going to sit and watch TV and we're going to eat junk food, and that's all we're going to do because we don't have energy to do anything else. Hopes and dreams and goals, I don't even have energy to think about it, let alone act on those things. Now that I'm putting the proper fuel in my body, and I love this analogy, by the way. It's been used before, but I'm going to take it to the next level. The vehicle analogy. Yes, you could put old, dirty gas in a car, watered down gas, and that car is going to just put, 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 put. It's going to go, it's going to putter along. Then you could take 1,000 pounds worth of sandbags and put them in the back seat of that car. Car's going to go a little slower, put, 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 put. Then you could take those sandbags, that's the body fat, by the way, if you're not following me here. Carnivores are following me. If you're not a carnivore, I'll have to explain a little bit more. Then you're going to take the air out of the tires. You're going to leave just a little air out of the tires. You guys know what the tires are? Come on, think about it. What are the tires? Right here. That's the tire right there. That's what I was before. I was putting the improper fuel in my vehicle, my body. I was 100 pounds heavier than I should have been, so I could barely move. I was exhausted and fatigued all the time. And my tires were almost flat. I had no muscles, it's just flab and fat. Of course, I was barely performing it. And yes, that'll work. Some people, you can putter along for a while until what happens? Until the engine dies on the car. And the car's dead forever. And that's the end of it. Life is so short. It's not worth it. So I guess this little walk and talk, the theme of this one today is, how do you find happiness? Number one, you got to have the energy to be happy. And that means putting the proper fuel in your body. Stopping with all of the sugars and seed oils and processed garbage that just puts a huge toll on your body. It causes inflammation, gives you a brain fog, and makes you horribly and utterly sick. That's step one. If I simplify how to be happy, Look around. This is your answer right here. What is he talking about? He's talking about nature, a return to what is natural. Mark my words right now. Almost every problem in your life, in the micro and the macro, almost every problem in the micro in your life and every problem in the macro in the world is a direct result of humans' departure from this. Nature. We've gotten so far away from what is natural for human beings, primarily and mostly with the foods we're putting into our bodies. But also we're not getting out and getting sunlight. I don't have any sunlight today. But we're not getting out into nature and breathing in fresh air. We're sitting inside our homes and our offices all day under fluorescent lights. We're not getting natural light. We're breathing recirculated garbage, dirty air from our house. We're disconnected from nature, and the further and further we get away from nature, the sicker and sicker humans are. It's common sense, but it becomes a social norm. A social norm that turns into a collective illusion. There's a guy that wrote a book called Collective Illusions. It's brilliant. I highly recommend you check it out. Collective illusion means the masses, the majority of humanity goes along with something that they don't agree with as an individual, but they're doing it because they think everyone else agrees with it. And there's no better example of that than the standard American diet. Life in general. People eating horrible foods and just saying, it's just normal, we always did it that way. Giving our children sugar from a young age, getting them hooked on sugar so they're sugar addicts. Putting cartoon characters on the cereal boxes, telling them breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Get them hooked from a young age on an addictive drug that we have normalized. That is one of the biggest collective illusions out there. It's just fine, we've always done it. Sugar lights up a child's brain just like if you gave that child cocaine. That's why all these kids are running around and they're hyper and they can't sleep at night and the parents are yelling at them like the kid is misbehaving. You're giving the kid drugs. It's not the kid's fault. But we've normalized it. And you go to grandma's house and she gives you some sugar and it's just fine, don't worry about it. It's not fine. Those collective norms are a direct result of what I spoke about earlier. Humans, humanity, healing humanity, right? Humanity as a whole is sick and is running on the improper fuel. And the brain requires a ton of energy, so what does it do? It finds routines. Routines help it preserve energy. Going with the flow helps the brain preserve energy. If you have just enough energy to barely get by in the day, you're going to just go with the flow, go with the consensus, and you're going to just do what everyone else does. And that, my friends, is the opposite of being happy. That is getting busy dying instead of getting busy living. Get busy living. You go along with the flow, you do the bare minimum, and that is a collective illusion. And the majority of humanity is just going along with the flow. And if the leader of that flow was walking them towards the cliff, they'd all have their heads down, staring at their phones, and they'd go right over the cliff. I, on the other hand, would be the only one walking in the opposite direction out into the dark woods, in a t-shirt, in the freezing cold, doing the opposite of what everyone does. Because that's where I find happiness. Some of the best things in life are completely against the grain. I've always been weird that way. When everyone's doing one thing, I'm doing another. Everyone's getting the newest, the greatest technology gadget, I'm doing something else. Everyone's getting a brand new car and they don't have any money in the bank and they're completely broke because they got a $1,000 car payment. I'm driving an old minivan with rust on it and 250,000 miles. I'm weird. But it makes me happy. So those are my tips if you want to be happy. Number one, you got to have the proper fuel in your body because you probably don't have enough energy to be happy. You're probably in preservation mode and you're doing the bare minimum to get by, and that is no way to live. And every breath you take is a huge blessing and could be your last. That breath I just took right there could be my last. We should be appreciating and thankful for every breath we take. Not just barely scraping by. This is absolutely beautiful and gorgeous out here. So if you want to be happy, here's my tips. Number one, put the proper fuel in your body. Number two, reconnect with nature. Go for a walk in the woods. Go for a walk in the park. Just get outside. Get some fresh air. Have the sun hit your eyes when you wake up in the morning. Look at your loved ones and appreciate them. Love them, thank them, hug them, and treat this day like it is your last day. I don't fear death. I've always had this feeling since I was very young that I'm going to die at a young age. I'm 43. I feel like I could live to be 120 eating the proper human diet, but I've always had this feeling I'm going to die young, and if I die young, I'm perfectly fine with it. I'm doing everything I can right now to live my life to my fullest potential, fulfilling my potential as a proper human being. And I feel like in the last 300 days, I've done more than I have my entire life. Let's go! Let's go! It's a freaking blizzard out here. I hope I don't wreck my phone here. I'm living more now than I have my entire life. And I'm loving every second of it. And if I were to die right now and I could say one last thing, I would say thank you. Thank you for every single moment I had, because every moment was a blessing. Every single moment was a blessing. And think about that with your loved ones too. God forbid if you ever lose a loved one, what is the natural reaction so many people make and say? It's not fair. Why did you take that person from me? It's so unfair. No, what you should be saying is, thank you. Thank you for every single moment you blessed me with that person. If you're not living in the here and now in the moment, you're not going to be thankful for every moment you have with that loved one. You're going to be thinking about the future, wishing for a lottery ticket, or worrying about the past. So I hope those tips helped you. I've been really enjoying these walk and talks. I did one the other day talking about how I'm never going to eat fruits or vegetables again. That fired some people up. I don't know why. I don't like that double standard. There's a double standard that vegan vegetarians can say, I am never going to eat meat again. And that's socially accepted by everybody. But when I, as a carnivore, say, I am never going to eat fruits or vegetables again, that's going against the grain. Even to other carnivores told me that. You're too extreme, you can't say that. Why can't I say that? Why is one okay to say, but not the other? It's a double standard. They have Dr. Hampton I interviewed, and he was talking about, it's not fair that, they have meatless Mondays at schools, and they enforce this. That's fine. If they want to have meatless Mondays, then they should have fruit and vegetable-less Tuesdays. No fruit, no vegetables for one day, and meat only. Why can't we have both options? Why is one okay and not the other? It's not. It's a double standard. Again, it goes back to our collective norms, and what we're used to and what's always been done is just the way it is. We have to break these collective norms, these social norms, these collective illusions, because mark my words, they're some of the most dangerous things for humans. The biggest one coming up that you guys need to keep your eyes on for sure is AI. Technology. Technology is just advancing more and more and more, and no one's stopping to think, is this really helping us? Is this really worth it? Because technology, in my opinion, as I'm sitting here talking on a gimbal stabilized phone, is the opposite of natural. And the more technology we get, it's so crazy. We have social media, we have these phones, we have all this stuff, right? The more we get technology and the more connected we are, the less connected we are. The rates of depression and anxiety amongst young people right now, it's unprecedented. It's absolutely insane. Everyone should be shocked by it, but of course they're not, because it's another social norm that's just slowly happening. Oh, they'll be fine. We need to ask ourselves about this technology. Some of the smartest people in the world too, they just don't get it. It's like, why do I get it? I didn't even go to college and I can figure some of this stuff out. Like, for example, self-driving cars, AI, all this stuff, artificial intelligence is taking over white-collar jobs. It's not just blue-collar jobs. It's not just driving semis and taxis and Ubers. It's going to take over everything. And what do the elites and the smart people say? They say, well, that's good, you know, we'll just adapt, and that'll give humans more time to do things they enjoy. They can do their hobbies. Well, foolishly, that sounds good on paper, but it's wrong. It's back to my earlier point. You have a bunch of humans around that have no purpose anymore. It's the worst thing in the world. It will be the downfall of humanity if that happens. Mark my words. That will be the downfall. It's like giving everyone a lottery ticket. Here, you don't have to work anymore. You can just sit at home and you can do your hobbies. You have no purpose or no need anymore, by the way. It's a dangerous, dangerous thing. And, you know, we're so busy asking ourselves, can we do this technology? Can we do it? We never stop to ask, should we do it? What is the net benefit of all of this stuff? The happiest people in the world that I've ever met are anti-technology, my Amish friends and neighbors. Literally the most joyful, happy people in the world. We can learn from them. So that's my blizzard walk for the morning. Look at this. Hopefully my mic worked. I put the little thing on it. It's full of ice right now. I am thankful, grateful, blessed. I want you to be happy today. I want you to be motivated. If you're doing the proper human diet along with me, you got this. You can do it. Stick to it. It gets better and better and better. Remember, it's this moment right now is the only moment that matters. And you have the power right now in this moment to decide to be happy or not be happy. It's your decision. Beep.